I'm JB Bryan of JB Bryan Financial Group, a registered investment advisory firm and the home of AfroEconomics indeed. And I want to make sure that you hear every word that I'm saying. So now, this time, I am using my Bobby Browns. I hope you can hear the change when I just shifted over from it going through the actual computer and it through my headsets. This is my attempt to make sure that our video archive gets it all, and I don't sound like I'm a bucket when my grandchildren listen to me. They're gonna be joking on me, right? Don't have any grandchildren yet, though. No. So I'm talking about, look, to my daughter, I'm talking about like 20 years from now. Yeah, 30 years from now, that's fine. How you doing, Miss Richardson? Hi, Angela. Hi, Tony. Hi, Tashia. It's so good to see new names, new people hanging out with my old family. Yeah, I know, y'all not old. My young family. Once you get in AfroEconomics, you know, we all share the same DNA. Oh, Dr. Williams said my headphones make me look like I got Afro puffs. You know I love them even more. And I can't do this when I have my Afro on. I think my Afro on when I'm wearing my Afro, my big Afro puff. Look at me. See, the headphones would mess me up. So I can do this now with the braids. So that's one or two, there's three, four, five good things about the braids that I have enjoyed during this quarantine, stay at home, work all 24/7 hours of the day, seem like experience that we're going through. Tonight's topic is, what is it? Tell them about it. It is pre-existing financial conditions, things, habits, mindsets, that are on the down low, that you don't sometimes even know exists. And there's been a lot of talk about pre-existing like medical conditions all the time. But have you ever really thought about pre-existing financial conditions that are separating you from your financial dreams? Right, Maurice? And the first thing when I thought, because of course I think about the topic and then I work my way backwards on the solution. I go, this is the problem I want to solve. And then I go, okay, what is it? And what is the solution, right? So the first one that came to mind for me was that the poverty mindset is a pre-existing financial condition that can come between you and your financial dreams because it becomes like a way of life. Too often, the poverty mindset is really like it's given to you and you unintentionally. It's like a poverty mindset can get into your DNA without you even knowing it. And then it can destroy your ability to think or accept or acknowledge the importance of self-reliance. It would just destroy your desire for your own financial freedom. And because the poverty mindset will make you believe that money does not grow on trees. Remember that one? Yeah, there's research that says that your parents can give you your money mindset. And if it's a poverty mindset of every time you ask for money, they said, no, I don't have any money. No, I'm broke. I don't have that. We can't get that. No, we can't do that. No, I didn't say that. Oh, the lights are off. Oh, that's a poverty experience that can become a way of life for the next generation if we're not conscious of we have to get rid of that. Like, you can say no to your child without saying you don't have the money, because hopefully you do have the money. You just don't want to spend your money on that particular item because they don't need it. And I think that it's very important in order to get rid of the poverty mindset is for all of us to get comfortable with delayed gratification. Because a big part of the poverty mindset is I got to have it right now. So I'm going to do whatever I got to do right now in order to get what I want right now. So it stops a lot of people from getting the skill that they need, the education that they need, the professional experience that they need, because they're constantly frustrated that it takes time, or everything takes too much time, or they got to get it right now. And if it doesn't come to me right now, then I'm moving on. I mean, there's people who are not successful at anything because they could not stick to it, because they bought into that poverty mindset and they said, let me just go over here and do this because I can get that quick money. And people will stop, they will give up on their dream, because that is a pre-existing condition that will devastate, destroy your dream of doing anything because you decided that's going to take too long, right? That's never. Oh, thank you. Twyla said that's excellent info. I agree with you. That she never thought about that being a poverty mindset. And it's so true. Like, we don't really think about what is stopping us. Why are so many people, hardworking people, not getting the opportunity to say, I lived out my dream. I am living my dream. Where there's so many people who work every day and hate their work. So they're happier collecting unemployment than doing their work that they decided to do for money because they gave up. They bought into that poverty mindset. They started getting the money. It's like a child who you give them a car and they go to college and you buy them a car and they get so excited about the car and that they start just partying all the time. And then they say, wow, I look like I got everything that everybody else that finished has. I have everything. And then the next thing they know, they're quitting with the car. They get a little job, then they pay, and then you get mad and you say, well, then you're going to pay that car payment. But you bought them into that car payment mentality, because the fact that they have a car payment is a poverty mentality that too many of us check off okay on. But a car payment is a sign of poverty, because you don't own that car. So you're riding around. I mean, even if you really think about it, a house payment, and then you get to check off a box that says a home owner. But if you miss a couple months, we discover that you're not a home owner. So that whole poverty payment mindset becomes a way of life for generation after generation after generation. And we can live our whole life and build no real assets, because our whole life has just been put on using the financial institution's money to purchase things that make us look like we have everything that we need. But we're constantly in that purchase mode, where if early on we grasp the fact that I can't have that because I cannot afford it and I need to save that. But it was never even told to me that it was an option, that it was wrong to have a car payment. It's become a way of life for too many of us. And it's not till the last 10 years where I decided I was not going to have a car payment, that I would buy my vehicles, that really everything changed. And I started, realize, because when you have to buy a vehicle, you don't look at for me, you don't look at the vehicles that you were looking at before. You look at a vehicle that you're going to be able to buy straight out. Not when you walk in a dealership and they're talking to you about payment, you ignore them and you start looking at that sticker price. and you start comparing the blue book, and you start thinking about, well, maybe it doesn't have to be brand new, because what? A big mistake, a serious financial dream killer, a pre-existing condition is a mentality, a poverty mentality that makes you feel like even though you can't afford it, you have to have a new car, and then the payment starts. I don't know if I've told y'all before about a story where I was helping a man, and he had reached his retirement and he wanted a new vehicle, and we were doing great, and he was leaving his corporate 401k, and we're rolling it over to an IRA, doing great. And he said, I need a new car, so I want to take out the money for the car, and I want to roll over the rest. So I said to him, well, have you considered looking at a used car? Because he really wanted a Lexus. I said, have you considered looking at a used Lexus? And he looked at me and said, how could you insult me that way? Do you really think that I would buy a used car? Me. And he did not have that much money. It wasn't that much money. So to buy the Lexus straight out, it was basically going to take almost half of everything that he had saved for 30 years. It wasn't that much money. And I said, have you thought about, he wanted to buy, I said, just buying a used car. And he did not. He refused to be my client after that. He said, I cannot be your client because you have disrespected me. Because I said, would you consider looking at a used vehicle, because that would save you a lot of money. Now, I can't tell you how many times in my career, by giving honest advice, I probably have gone through it. That's the only time I know that I lost it, but I know that I have seen that look of, how's she trying to tell me? How's she gonna tell me that? Like something they don't want to hear, and it's gone. And Twala says you save on insurance costs too. Hi, Mr. Jenkins. He said, hello, everyone. Yes, indeed. It saves on everything. It's immediate, a brand new vehicle, a luxury vehicle at that poverty mentality. The thought that he thinks, and it's been about 20 years or so. And I remember calling him. I called him relatively recently. I don't know why I was thinking about him. And I called him and I was like, how are you doing? And he was speechless. He was like, hi, how are you? And I said, I was just thinking about you and I just wanted to see, how are you doing? And he said, I'm doing well. That is so nice of you to call and check on me. And I said, yeah. I was like, you just came to my mind. And I was really sincerely was just thinking about him. But I learned so much from losing that deal. I realized that there are always going to be some people that you cannot help, but I still have to make sure that I do all that I can to save people. And the fact that he was so kind to me means that he respects me, that he learned that this woman gave me some good, honest advice and he respects me. You know what I'm saying? Because he was not, last time he was mad at me for saying that, but he was not thinking about that because what? That car is old. It probably broke down on him. It probably had some problems. The car is not checking on him. I'm checking on him. So I tell you, these things that destroy our financial dreams, that right there, taking half of that retirement account, paying taxes on it, and then just to clear enough to buy a luxury vehicle, a poverty mentality will destroy. It is a pre-existing. He walked into my office with that pre-existing poverty mentality. But I pray that I had to bear that hurt. I had to bear that, but that he became wiser through that. And then a second point, and we're talking about pre-existing financial conditions that can kill your dreams. That that looking out the window, look, or we can call it keeping up with the Joneses, right? That too many, that means people try to get what other people have, even though they can't afford it. You know, I don't remember, like in my current neighborhood, like we don't really talk to each other. Like, you know, we just come and walk in, like, and I don't know. I don't know, you know, why that is. I don't know. But in other neighborhoods that I've lived in, like every time you're doing something, like just say you do something, like one time I put a new driveway in. So the neighbors came over and they were like, about how much does something like that cost? You know, things like that. I can't imagine doing that. Like, why would I ask someone how much their aggregate, you know, driveway costs? Or, you know, I just can't imagine that. And then it was like somebody coming over to help me do something at the house. And then, you know, a neighbor came over, you know, how much does she charge you? You know, or, oh, I see you got a new car, or, you know, that is that mentality of, you know, and a lot of times they just don't look. They don't look, but they'll like, and now everything is like really garage intense. Like, but so in my neighborhood, like we kind of go, everybody goes into their garage and you really don't even see their cars. If you do, it's like just by coincidence, or you have to come over. I can't, but when you're in those neighborhoods where everybody has some big family neighborhoods where everybody has their multiple cars, and they have so many cars and driveways where the cars have to, you know, be outside and you can see that. Like, I think that people slip into that, keeping up with the Joneses, looking at the neighbors and look what they got, and they just got a new grill. Oh, wow, they put a whole new outside in, you know, all of the, you know, expensive stuff out back. Oh, you know, when you see that stuff, social media like probably encourages it. And I'm thankful, truly thankful that I am not in that behavior. Like, you know, truly thankful. But I get it because I've heard it from some people I know. It's like, that, you know, well, let's see, so-and-so got so-and-so, and so-and-so got so-and-so, and what about us, and blah, blah, blah. And that can be, that whole, like, trying to keep up with the money, that can really mess you up, where their goals might be different, or their savings account might be different, or their inheritance might be different. So I suggest, if you want to stay focused on your financial goals and dreams and your financial independence, don't look out the window. Look right in your own space. Don't look out. And then another pre-existing financial condition that can kill your dreams is not learning how, and I'm not good at this, not learning how to negotiate things. And I think that I don't buy things often, and I don't shop, you know, often at all. Like I just feel that it's like amazing that God would have me, you know, in a loving relationship with someone. Michael is very opposite of this. Like, he is a shopper. Like, if he's going to get something, he's going to get the best price for it. I find that like frustrating. You know, and I remember like the first time we tried to shop together, and he was going from this store to this store to this store. And, you know, I really think he thinks the whole mall is overpriced. I'm like, oh my goodness, it's on a whole nother level. He's like, oh, all of this. No, oh my goodness. This is just, you know, I was like, wow. But you know what? He's right. And that's why I don't shop, because I know if I shopped all the time, because I'm not going to negotiate and I'm not going to shop. So like, he's right. That is a serious challenge, because I did not come from a family that knows how to negotiate. No, I never saw it. So I definitely inherited a full price mentality. Don't go in there. You pay whatever they said the price of it is, and you move on, you know, but it's not right. That is a flaw. Like, we have to learn it is a pre-existing condition that I am learning to do better with. and then my response to it is just don't buy things. Because if I know that I'm not going to do a good job of it, I just won't. Like, I know that I need to purchase probably a new vehicle, but I'm not, because I'm not ready to go into that home negotiation, and I'm not ready, for Michael to tell me, that's too much. Like, then, y'all, I'm not going to say, but according to research, men are much better at negotiating those things, especially in a vehicle purchase. So I challenge us women to let's start doing better about negotiating in our interest rates and everything if you're in a situation where you have to finance. But I'm not. So it doesn't really make sense if I'm coming in there to purchase. I need to be very particular because I have it. And when I do that for a client, I'm coming in fighting like, no, that's too much, da, 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 da. And it's easier to do it for someone else than to do it for myself. But I'm telling you, a pre-existing financial condition, and I'm going to claim it, is that not being able to negotiate. And I'm going to get better at that. So I pity the person who has to go through when I decide that I want to start negotiating aggressively, because I'm going to get the lowest price and I'm going to shop. But it really works, and you're worth it. Many, many, many people with no money pay way too much for a whole bunch of stuff. Most things that they have pay way too much. I remember a girlfriend of mine, and she happens to be white, and she was saying about this wedding that they were in, and all of the bridesmaids, all white, all of them got their dresses for like $15, and they were like really proud about it. And I was like, see, that's, to me, is a key difference here. She was like, what? I was like, I just don't see, that we celebrating. If I had a Black wedding and all of my Black friends, and we're like, I don't see us celebrating the fact that we got these really cheap dresses. But I really admire that you did it. Like, and they were random. There's no way they could match. But they went for it. And look at how much money they saved. So negotiating is important, and we do need to recognize when we have like a weakness that we don't, because I think that it's probably part of just not wanting to appear like you're broke. So I'm not going to go in the store and act like, that I'm broke, like, and I think it just could have been culturally from just being disrespected or feeling like you just need to overcompensate. So it's just like, I don't want to go through that. How much is it? Give me it. And I got it and I'm gone. But I don't, know, but that is, definitely that we don't have to prove anything to anybody. They need to treat us right. If they don't, and they don't give you what is the right price, we just need to go somewhere else. And we have to be willing to leave it on the table. I would say if we don't get emotionally attached to the purchase, it's probably a lot easier to negotiate because you can walk away from it. But if you fall in love with it before you've gotten the right price, so we need to fall in love with it and the right price, right? So that's something. But so that point is learning to negotiate, because not negotiating is a pre-existing financial condition that stops us from reaching our financial dreams. That's more money in our pocket, more money we can save, more money we can invest, right? So what about this? A pre-existing financial condition is a problem that a lot of people have, unfortunately, feeling that they can just call on other people every time they get into financial woes. Now, why, like, how have you ever seen someone that eventually ends up wealthy being that person who is always like trying to get money from somebody else? No, like, that's not definitely that is not the type of person that ultimately makes it. Like you feel like, oh, they're getting over. Look at them. They're always going to ask somebody else for money. Every time they can't pay their mortgage or their rent, they go and they ask their mama or their daddy for their money. It doesn't help. It doesn't, ultimately, if you're the one that's giving the money to them, you're not helping them. At some point, you have to empower them with they can do this on their own. You can let them know that is a pre-existing condition that is holding them back. Well, Angela, you have the same weakness I have with not negotiating enough, huh? Indeed. What did Ethel say? That's why you don't shop. The more I know, right? Exactly. Well, I mean, exactly. I mean, I got to tell you about that one day we talked. Like one end of the mall to the other. Look, I'm just like going in one store, getting robbed and walking out really bad. Not shopping. I think I do better even online because it's a lot easier to actually shop different places for it. And I'm a lot less emotionally involved, or like, I don't want to go way over there. So I think online does help me. So if I don't have to negotiate, but at least I can price shop in comfort online, that helps. So I'm getting there. So also, that one is like not to a pre-existing financial condition is a person that feels that someone else or having that sickness that feel that someone else should always get you out of your financial messes. No. When you become financially independent, you take that hit, you give up what you got to give up. If you can't afford it, you let it go. You don't say, I can't make my car payment, so I'm going to get somebody to help me pay it. That's not it. And then check this out. Check this out as well. This one, fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it. I can't stand that saying. And I don't care who the successful person might be that says it. I have been in so many business meetings where there's a leader in the room that says, fake it till you make it. No. Work it till you make it. But there's no room for faking in anything. I need truth. We need truth. If you broke, you broke. So many people are going around like buying things to make sure that they don't look like they're broke. That is ridiculous. I mean, and spending too much money on it. You really don't have to spend a lot of money in order to look presentable and professional. Any professional with any sense does not care about the name brand of your shoes or your suit or your briefcase or anything. Like I typically, it is a broke person who feels that way. I remember going into a business meeting and I was helping this brother do some stuff for his business. And I passed him the paper, the pen to sign it. He took the pen and threw it across the room and said, I don't sign nothing with no cheap. I don't sign up with some cheap ink pens, and threw it across the room. I was so hurt because I was like, he'd been in business, probably a couple years before me. And I was relatively new in business, but a couple years later, he was out of business from that nonsense. What kind of nonsense is that? Talking about he only signs paper with these designer pens. Now the brother is out of business. People lost jobs and stuff behind that materialistic, broke person, fake it till you make it mentality. That's crazy. No. And then I feel that anything fake about you, like, will pull away from you ultimately being your authentic self, which is where your power is. Like when we started tonight, you know what I mean? I was playing my rap music, but that is my authentic self. I love rap music. I love gospel music. I love good music, but I was the first rap DJ at the University of Virginia. And I'm not going to tell you what year. But I go that far back with it. Look, I was the first rapper at my high school. Like, yeah, Fonda, your high school in the Follies, the first person ever to rap in those Follies. Like, and then by the time she graduated, it was probably people rapping all over the place. But I'm talking about, I don't feel any need to fake it. We should not fake it. No, there's no reason to be anything but honest. And by that fake mentality, it creates so much poverty. The fake it till you make it is equal to the poverty mindset. And then next time when you hear somebody say that, like, I hope that your ears cringe like mine do, because we cannot afford as a people to fake anything. We need our authentic, honest truth is where our power is as a people. Now, a sixth point is that many people feel that they have a friend that's not really their friend. Yeah, like they really hang with the wrong people, the wrong crowd. And the crowd is credit. Like, they think that credit is their best friend. They borrow for everything, anything. They have every credit card that ever came out. They max out them all. Like, they really feel like a credit card is on their side. Somebody asked me a question on one of my social media pages below a video, and they said, I was saying that we need to save, and we do. We need to save, we need to save, we need to save all through this year, save. So she said that, she said that this lady that she watches on TV said that that everyone should max out their credit cards and not before they, and save all their money. Now, I hope that she heard that lady wrong, because for what reason would I max out my credit card? I mean, like, so you don't even know. So, but that's the careful part that we have to be as, financial professionals, especially me, because I'm licensed. Now, the bulk of people that you see, I don't know of any others that are on television and things that are actually serving people, have a client list. I have clients and are licensed. So most of the people you're listening to, they can say absolutely anything. But I have to be accountable to you and to the law. So now, but I don't know what that person could think like that would be feasible. I want you to save, and I don't want you to put anything on your credit card either. I want you to tighten your belt, and I want you to accept the fact that credit is not your friend. Borrowing for everything you want is not your friend. And if you have a balance on the credit cards, it means that you're living beyond your means, period. That's what balances mean. There's something that needs to be addressed, and we have to take care of it as quickly as possible. But now that there is a huge need, I believe, for you to make sure that you have cash available, then you do. I feel that it is very important to have as much cash available as possible. But if you have a credit card, and we strategically find out that it is best to pay down the credit cards because maybe like your credit cards are so high, then you would not close it out at this type of time, because you need to have that line available. So if you took $5,000 cash and you put it $5,000 on a card, and then you closed out that card, well, you've lost $5,000 of liquidity that right now I feel that we really need to have money available, or credit line available, not used. It needs to be there. So if you lose your job 3 months from now, you have money to keep yourself afloat, to pay for your health insurance, to pay for your living expenses, to pay. We need to have this money available. Don't take money out of your retirement accounts. No. And then a seventh point is spending money on a pre-existing condition is a habit of spending money on things you don't need. Gotta have the newest phone, gotta have the newest TV, gotta have the newest car, gotta have, oh my goodness, the deals that people have been taking advantage of on cars because of all of these commercials. No and no and no. It's not about, no, I don't have any interest for 2 years. I don't have any interest for 3 years and this and that. It's about, do you really need it? Not, I might need one in a couple of years. I might so and so. Do you really need it? Because there's a whole bunch of stuff associated with buying a new anything. Application fee, processing fee, this fee, that fee, all of this stuff. New insurance costs more. Everything we need to think about it. Don't spend money on things you don't need. An 8th point is a pre-existing condition is not having a budget at all. If you have a particular income that's coming in, you're blessed, and it's easy for you to have a budget. If you have a credit card balance, you are going beyond your budget. So don't do it. Have a budget, have a plan, have an order, have on, this is what I'm spending on everything that is necessary. And then another pre-existing financial condition is only living for today, not thinking about the future. Many people destroy their financial future because they're not even thinking about next week. And I want you to be thinking about the next generation after the generation that you're looking at. Like I was saying about my grandkids that are way, way down there. But we need to be thinking. Our money needs to be long. We can't just live for today. And then being afraid of taking risk is the final pre-existing medical condition that I want to talk about, but not the only one. But being afraid of taking risk is robbing us, because it robs you from being able to look at other investment opportunities, feeling comfortable with volatility. It even robs us of dreams of having our own business because of stories that we've just heard about somebody taking a chance and then it didn't work out for them and things. But we need to get ourselves and get our children comfortable with taking on risk. That, that failure is okay. Let them go out and fall down. Somebody said it was Susie Orman, and she stated that it would be the last resort if you don't have money. And if you aren't working and bills have to be paid, in that case, you would not have no EF either. That's right. So she didn't say that. So that was basically. But I think that we all know that use the credit card as a last resort. That's what they're there for, right? Yes, indeed. And you aren't working and you have bills to be paid. Instead of using your cash, I guess that was the point. That's right, because you need the cash. But and get to that after the card is filled, because then you're leveraging the card, because the card will say you put $3,000 on the card to pay your rent and buy groceries, and then your payment on that is only going to be $150. Say what? But then you've leveraged that, because then maybe in 2 months you might out of that $3,000, you might only have to pay $300 of it until after you get your job back in order. But many people, are getting compensation. So we have to make sure they're paying as many bills as they can. Oh, thank you, Mr. Fenner. Thank you for acknowledging me as a woman of God, and may I grow in my relationship with him. Thank you. Yes, indeed. I appreciate you all so much. Ms. Perkins said, trying to keep up with that certain image is very harmful indeed. Yes, it is. And you do not have to impress anyone. Twila says, I taught students that had $200 tennis shoes and no ink pen to do work. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That is so powerful. So powerful. And then you see a lot of people who will have $200, shoes as an adult, $400 purses, but have no life insurance. So their family will be broke for generations because they didn't plan to at least have something to protect the family. Just buying things that they don't need, and not buying things that really are needed. They won't even think about it, because one thing, say, having the proper protection for your family and your assets is something that the people will never know. People will never know that you're planning and protecting your family, so they can still go to college if you die tomorrow. That the people won't know that. So because that's not, so if you become like everybody's got to know every good thing that you do, then it will stop you from doing the right thing. Yes, indeed. Twila said, how about babies that can't walk but have Nikes on their feet? That's right. It is so sad. So sad. This is so good. I'm learning this. Asha says she's learning so much. Thank you. You are very welcome. Asha's in college, and I love accessories. And I have to realize those things truly don't matter if you don't have money for what you really need. You can get cute jewelry for free if you take care of yourself the right way. Isn't that the truth? That's so true. You say you get, how you gonna get the cute jewelry for free? Rosita said, what hurts is when you're almost 40 years old and realize you are in debt from cars and credit card abuse. I know, Rosita, but it gets better. It gets better. Indeed. It gets better. And it's just so good. I mean, you are in the right place, because there's so many people. I can't wait till y'all all meet each other that could just tell you from how far they've come. And I mean, I can tell you, like, you are looking at a true survivor, like, and most of the mistakes that I'm telling you not to make, I've lived through. Right? Like a good mama would be, right? Look, mama will tell you, like, hey, I want you to live better than me. That's what I want. Loretta said, amen. Ethel said, someone else will buy it for you. I think that's what it is. She said, go on, Aisha. That's right. That's right. Look, Miss Hayes, Mr. Hayes be buying you that cute jewelry because you look good. Oh, thank you, Angela. It's my pleasure. So I would like to think that. She ain't said, Aisha ain't saying nothing. I love it. LOL. I hear you, Aisha. That's right. Teach us. Indeed. Well, I love y'all. Have a wonderful week. Join me Friday morning for our members only meeting, which is open to all levels of membership. So make sure you join today and take full advantage of membership in AfroEconomics. We'll be back on Friday. I look forward to y'all. Love y'all. Thank you again, Ms. Williams. Thank you, Ms. Hayes. Y'all be good. I appreciate you all so much. Have fun tonight. Oh.